Meghan Markle's inappropriate wish that was rejected by late Queen before wedding. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle reportedly had an inappropriate request before their marriage which was firmly denied by the late Queen. The Duchess of Sussex married Harry in Windsor back in 2018 and they were allowed to use Frogmore Cottage as their home. The 10-bedroom home sits within the grounds of Windsor and was close to where Queen Elizabeth II spent much of her time, meaning it was the perfect place for a young, growing family to reside. But it seems they may have actually had their eye on a completely different property altogether after their marriage, according to reports. However, Harry's late grandmother, the Queen, reportedly firmly denied their request and suggested Frogmore Cottage instead. According to reports, the Sussexes wanted to live in Windsor Castle and were said to have asked if living quarters could be made available after their marriage. At the time, only the late Queen and Prince Philip had private apartments within the actual castle, with everyone else living elsewhere on the estate. However, the monarch reportedly politely but firmly suggested that they live in nearby Frogmore Cottage instead. Royal author and historian Hugo Vickers previously told The Times. There are empty bedrooms and suites in the private apartments which the Sussexes may have had their eye on, or perhaps some former living quarters in the castle grounds converted into other things. But I can see how it might not be entirely appropriate to have a young family living there. The newspaper reported that according to royal aides, Windsor represents a special place for the Sussexes as that's where they got married and where they held Archie's christening. In a book titled The New Royals, royal expert Katie Nicholl spoke of the late Queen's decision to give Frogmore to Harry and Meghan. Quoting Lady Elizabeth Anson, who died in 2020, Katie penned, "The cottage was a big deal. The Queen's entrance into the gardens is right next to their cottage. It is essentially her backyard, her solitude, and her privacy. She was giving that up in gifting Harry and Meghan Frogmore Cottage. We all thought it was very big of her. She said I hope they'll respect it." After moving into Frogmore Cottage, the Sussexes welcomed their first child, Prince Archie. Then in early 2020, they moved to California, where they now live with their son and daughter, Princess Lilibet, who was born in the U.S. in 2021. Meanwhile, an expert has explained why Harry and Meghan are unlikely to be invited to spend Christmas with the royal family again. The royals traditionally spend the festive period at the Sandringham estate, but Meghan and Harry, who live in California with their 2 children, have reportedly not received an invitation to join the family festivities this year. The last time the couple spent Christmas with the royals was back in 2018, a few months after their wedding. They took their son Archie to Vancouver Island the following year and are thought to have spent every festive period since 2020 in the U.S. Royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams says it's likely they will never receive another invite from King Charles to spend Christmas as a family due to the huge rift between them. Mr. Fitzwilliams told The Express, Harry and Meghan spent Christmas at Sandringham in 2017, when they were engaged, and Meghan was the first fiancée to receive an invitation, and were also there in 2018. The memories they have shared on a couple of occasions, Meghan in the 3rd episode of the Harry-Meghan Netflix documentary, and Harry on the Today program, appear to have been fond. Unfortunately, these are not the only memories they have shared of the royal family, and the only sensible thing whilst a rift exists, and it is huge, is not to ask them, which is what has happened this year and what is likely to happen in the foreseeable future.